It is episode 133 of Left Side Heavy, the podcast presented by Blue Wire. It's your boys again, myself and Hayden, myself being Jevon LaFave. Hayden Barton, how we doing, my brother? How's your week been?
Munch, 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 dude. Have my week's been good, but I have to tell you, man, I don't think Smart Food white cheddar popcorn gets enough credit. Okay.
It's the best popcorn out there.
Oh my God, it's so fucking good. I could have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if the kernels didn't get stuck in my teeth every
Yeah.
time I ate it. But
Or you get that little fucker at the back of your throat too. That
oh my
sucks
God,
too.
it's the worst.
And
But
also the you
yeah,
get you get like the paste on your fingertips too with all the white cheddar.
that's like that's like getting a piece of food like on your chin or something. It's like, I'm saving it for later, guys. It's
Yeah.
a snack.
Yeah, it's dessert, right?
Yeah,
The popcorn's the main meal, and the finger paste is after.
exactly. It's basically ice cream.
Yeah. But what'd you get up to this past week?
Well, I had a two-team parlay bet, so I won of $60.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll take you through it because I was golfing on Sunday. I did like a little tournament at Golden Eagle, and that was good. It was like a scramble, finished -7. Winners were -10, so we weren't that far off. But holy shit, man. We started off on a par three and we're like, okay, we don't know how these greens are going to react, right? It was like a 130 yard to the middle of the green. And me, Duncan, and my dad, we all take our shot, hits the fucking green, goes 20 yards past. Like it was cement, man.
Wow.
Oh my God, it was terrible.
Brandon Goff was in that same tournament.
No shit.
Yeah, because I asked him if he wanted to come because he on Saturday when we were doing the walk, he
Hmm.
said he was like, "Oh, let's watch some football together tomorrow." I'm like, "I'm literally home all day tomorrow. I'm just doing homework. Come over whenever you want."
Hmm.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm just in a golf tournament. I'll maybe come over after." I'm like,
Mm.
"Sunday night football is Chargers Chiefs, so that would be an electric game to go to or to watch."
Hmm.
And he he couldn't make it, but yeah, he was saying that he was in a golf tournament and that the pace was really slow and it took him
Oh, it
like
was dead slow, man. A scramble took us 5 hours.
yeah, I was saying it almost took him like over 5.5 hours to do.
Oh my God, it was terrible. But
Yeah.
it was fun in the sense of like I've never played some golf like that. And you know how I use like my driver off the deck sometimes?
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't shove my tee in the ground, so it was all driver off the deck, but I was piping my drives, dude. I think I
Solid.
had like one bad drive and it was on we were playing the North, so 9 is now 18, right?
Yeah.
So it was 18 and that was long drive. And of course, like I put one out there, but it's along the right side on like the tree lines. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to hit another one since we got an extra shot since we were a threesome. And Duncan hit one pretty good. My dad hit one pretty good. And I tell you, I hit this so good. And I was playing like a little fade,
Yeah.
but it hit like the clip of the tree and it just
Oh,
died. And I'm like, God damn it.
like are you talking about actual like 18 or like the ninth hole, but 18?
Well, it's the
Like
ninth hole
last,
is now 18.
so like the last hole of the round was long drive.
But for us, since it was a shotgun start, we started on 13.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So our fifth hole, which was 18, which used to be 9.
Okay. I just had to make sure I was thinking about the right hole. But
Hmm.
no, yeah.
The long par five.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
But
good.
yeah,
Scramble tourneys are fun.
yeah, that was fun. So then after that, I uh I was like, oh man, the football's done. I didn't really make any bets the day. Didn't watch like any of it because I could care less about the Saints right now. So I this was my 1 week of like not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I gotta put like a parlay on. And so I had my winnings from last Monday, and I was like, okay, I'll do a two-team parlay. I'll do Kansas City to win and San Fran to win, right? and Kansas City barely squeaked out a win. And I didn't realize it, but yesterday when I was getting ready to watch the game, I did an over 43 points, and I'm like, oh fuck.
In the San Fran game or the KC
Yeah,
game?
the San Fran and Arizona game, and I'm like, oh no, Colt McCoy is starting. Like this
Yeah.
could be bad. And my buyout was $25. And I was talking to my mom, who has no football knowledge whatsoever. I was like, Mom, like, what do I do? She said, I don't fucking know.
It's like I don't care.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna ride it out.
Yeah.
And then when uh I was watching it, it was like 31-10. And then George Kittle, man amongst boys,
Yeah.
just skirted down the sideline and scored to get me the over. I was like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
So my 20 turned into $56, which was nice.
That's fire.
Uh-huh.
That's fire. Those late wins are beautiful.
Yeah. And the Grey
Beautiful.
Cup was on Sunday.
Yeah.
And Winnipeg didn't fucking win.
Yeah,
But we'll talk about it.
they had everything but a kicker. It was fuck, dude. That game was it was a riot to watch.
It was a pretty unreal game, yeah.
But yeah, I did the 60-kilometer kind of the
Kind of.
November walk that my buddy Jaden puts on
Yep.
to raise awareness for men's mental health.
It's fucking
And
awesome.
it was good. We started at around 2:30th, walked to town center.
Mm-hmm.
That part took about 6.5 hours. And then I had to stop there because I had the Coquitlam Express game later in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had done the full thing, we would have finished at around, I think they finished at like 8 and the game started at 7. And I couldn't do half of it because maybe I could have stopped at the pit bridge had I parked there, maybe,
Maybe,
but
yeah.
it wasn't really worth it. So I just went home at around like 12. But yeah, my knees are still pretty sore. Um, but like it's weird. Like my left kneecap is hurting, but I don't know how I like hurt that part of it. It hurts when I like go upstairs. Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
It's
fair.
it's like a piercing pain, but it's like right over my kneecap.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know what happened there. But no, recovering fine. It was a good decent week. Played hockey on Sunday night. So that was good. Got on the ice for the first time in a while. And then just got my heart broken a couple times by the Canucks. But or I guess just once, but it was a roller coaster of emotions watching them. But
Like it always is.
yeah. Um but yeah, not too much, just an average week. School's coming down to the end for this semester, so just grinding out some projects and assignments, studying for finals. It's a grind, man, but
It's a
we're
grind.
almost there. We're almost there. But may as well kickstart some hockey talk here. As always, we're gonna start with the Vancouver Canucks, who had a winning week this week. 2-1. Kicked it off with Buffalo on Wednesday with a 5-4 win. In Vancouver. Did we talk about that last week? Was it a Tuesday game?
Well, didn't we say like, oh,
Oh yeah, we are like
they
yeah,
got blown out or something
uh,
like that? Yeah.
yeah,
And dead ass, I listened to that and I'm like, wow, we were almost like kind of right by that
yeah,
shit. We got up 2-0 in the first 12 minutes of the game,
yeah.
and then we almost blew the lead.
We had
That was crazy.
Yeah, we had so little notes here. We had 3 2-goal leads, and we won
Mm-hmm.
5-4. Ethan Bear scored his first goal as a Canuck. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Bo continued to produce. He had 3 points that game. Guy's just
Nuts.
he's swinging it this year. And Spencer Martin gets another win under his belt. He's been solid this year. But yeah, I mean Buffalo is just like it's always scary for the Canucks when they get up because it's like, oh, man, like I
No
just
lead is
know
safe.
no lead is safe with them. But no, they got the win, and yeah, it was just like it was a stressful game though because of how many leads were blown.
No, definitely.
But no, we still got it. And then we welcomed LA. We got a 4-1 win there. Besser finally gets in the goal column there a couple times. He had a couple goals. Pedersen scored a couple times as
Yeah,
well. So
wasn't
like,
it PD and Besser 2-2?
yeah.
Yeah.
So like our big guys are producing this year, which is really good to see. But I mean, just everywhere else is a dumpster fire.
I lost $5 on that game too.
Oh, did you bet for LA to come back? Yeah.
Yeah. And they
Um,
fucking didn't. So you know
yeah,
what? I bought the Canucks to win. Thank you. Or you're welcome, Vancouverites.
yeah.
Yeah.
But because of that, Demko finally had a Demko game. He
Absolutely.
stepped up when he needed to. He made 37 saves, only letting one. He looked like his old self, which was finally good to see
Mm-hmm.
because we kind of just shut him down everywhere. I mean, like I was doing the Express game that night, so I couldn't watch all of it, but from the most part, from what I saw, we just outplayed them for majority of the
Absolutely.
game.
And the
And
funny part was too, when I made the bet, literally like a minute after LA scored, and I'm like, I'm a god.
yeah.
And then Demko just decided to play out of his fucking mind. Stopped 30. What did you say? He had 37 saves?
Yeah, I think he had 37 saves
Yeah.
around
And
there.
then Besser actually, decides to put it together. And PD, who's just been fucking good this whole year, can't really say anything bad about him. So it's like, yeah, I didn't think they were going to beat LA.
Yeah. I
Not at
I,
all.
I think that one would be close because they're pretty even, but just with the Canucks track record this year, I didn't think they were going to, but it's good to see them win.
Exactly.
And then probably one of their worst losses this year.
Hmm.
They lose to Vegas 5-4. My first two notes are we are so bad, like terrible. We let in we had two goals against in 49 seconds,
Yep.
and then three goals against in 7.5 minutes. Two separate times in the game when we had leads. We were up 1-0, then down 2-1, and then we are up 4-2, and then we lost 5-4. And one of the weirder instances was a puck was rung around the boards, hit the camera in the hole
Hmm.
of the glass, knocked the frame off. Vegas then went on like a few seconds later to score. Play challenge for a stoppage, whatever. Goal was called back. And I'm like, if you are looking to complain about that, that just shows how bad you are. I know it should have been called, whatever. Yeah, it makes sense because there's something that was thrown onto the ice that should have been stopped, right?
Hmm.
But like their defense was so bad. They didn't play to the whistle. They all stopped. And you just like you let in a goal that you shouldn't have. And it's just so annoying because when you're looking at that, it's like just play defense and restrict them and do your job from letting them score. So it's frustrating, but we got the call back. It's fine. All right, still 4-4, whatever. And then they just score like 3 minutes later. And it's like
Yeah.
all that for fucking nothing. Like
Yeah, pretty
this
much.
defense is pathetic. We like Demko didn't help himself either. He tried passing the puck up the middle. Don't know why.
I don't know why you'd ever try to pass the puck up the middle. Like,
If
you have no power.
literally even especially when five Vegas players are in your zone. He tried to pass it through three players up the middle. It's like, what are you doing? You're
Yeah.
running the risk of a like you're a fucking idiot. Like Demko, I
Yeah.
love you. I'm trying to defend you, but I can't defend this.
No,
Like it was just
you're
a dumb play. It's something you shouldn't have done. And like that goal is 100% on you. And because he let in a muffin right after too. Like there's a few goals where it's like some deflections, and I'll always give goalies the benefit of the doubt for deflections because those are
Oh,
really
of
hard to
course.
stop,
Those are so hard to stop.
right? And then another one, Eichel was shooting it wide and it hits off the player's shin pad and in. It's it's just unfortunate deflections that went in. But that third goal, or I can't remember exactly what goal it was that he shot it through traffic, but is inexcusable. Like keep it to the outside, out of like so that there's limited chance that something goes to shit. I understand you shoot it around, it hits a fucking stanchion and comes back out. It's like, okay, the odds of that are more slim than not.
Yeah.
But like passing it right up the middle when you're out of your net, you are running the risk of it going right back into the net or onto the opponent's stick and
Hmm.
scoring. It was just a really dumb play that he shouldn't have done. But yeah, it was just a really frustrating game or end of the game to watch as a Vancouver fan because there was so much they could have done different than just like there's so much they could have done better. And I know we've been saying this, we're sound like a broken record at this point, but it's so frustrating when it's like you are better than this, and like these simple mistakes that they're making is like turning the games into the opponent's favor. So that's my 2 cents on it. I don't know if you have anything to add to this, but it was just a really frustrating game against Vegas when we could have beat them.
Unfortunately, I didn't watch the game. I just saw like the Twitter updates. I was unfortunately busy, but it was kind of the same. It's the same thing, man. Excuse me. It's the seventh blown multi-goal lead this year in 19 games.
Yeah,
Like that, it's comical at this point. It's absolutely hysterical at this point. And the whole Demko situation, I get it. You're trying to make a play, but you're not Martin Brodeur. Okay, no goalie I've ever seen other than Brodeur gets enough power where he can like flick it up. Like I've
yeah,
never seen that from anyone else. No other goalie. You're not him.
yeah.
You're not him to do that. Like you're an amazing goalie and you play the game so well at so many points in your life, but like that one, that's like a quarterback throwing it right into the middle of the defense when you're running crossing routes, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Like
what
throw
could
the
go
ball away.
wrong?
Like throw the ball away.
Yeah, so
Like
I don't know. I don't know, man. Like it's another week goes by, another multi-goal blown lead. Like surely we have to be, the best team at blowing leads. So that's
oh
that's good news.
yeah,
We're the
100%.
best in one category.
No, like the point of goalies playing the puck is to get the puck out of trouble and like not to put it right back into the fire. So it was just really ironic what Demko tried to do. It wasn't the right time to do it. Maybe if you're up 5-1 with a minute left or whatever. Or you're up by 3 and you're trying to go for an empty net, but like it's never worth getting a goal scored on you or running that risk. So I just don't think it was the right decision for Demko. You can't play hero ball in that moment. And like Rutherford legit had to get up from his seat and walk to the bar in the press box that he was in. It was so bad. Like this team is in shambles right now. And at this point, just like fucking trade everyone except like right now, I think a report came out that the Canucks have putting everyone up for sale except Hughes and Petey.
Jesus
Like everyone's
Christ.
like available, I guess.
Oh my God.
And they've explored some Horvat discussions, I guess, which like I mean, in hindsight is probably the right thing to do because he's going to be demanding too much money for what we can
Yep.
afford, and he's tearing it up right now. He's like up at the top for goals. So it I think it's the right decision to make. But we should have traded Miller, but that's another story. And we almost traded Myers, which would have been a lot, which would have been huge because he's been
Hmm.
a disaster. He ever since he came to Vancouver, he maybe had one half like average year last year, but when you're making $6 million, I expect better than average. And that's
Yep.
the best he's given us is average. So
And as you say, diabetic.
yeah, he's a liabetic. It was so funny. Eichel, like when they scored that goal that like banked off the shin pads, like Eichel turned Myers around basically, and John Garrett was like, "It's there's not a lot of people that can do this to Myers." It's like, dude, Caulfield did this to Myers, and he's half the size. Like Myers just sucks. Like it was a dumb statement by Garrett.
Yep.
And yeah, it was just hilarious. But I mean, the Canucks are they like it, we've talked more negative than positive when they've had a winning week, but just the negative was so much heavier than the positive, so it's hard not to.
I tell you what, though, if the Canucks don't blow a multi-goal lead, I say this is a pretty good fucking week. Like, let's just say the Canucks lost. They were never up. We never expected them to beat Vegas, right? But let's say, oh, the tables were turned. We fought back in the third period. We scored 2 goals, came up short to tie it at 5-4, right? Let's say that. This week, wow, we're
Yeah,
really seeing some change. But it's like you can't be up on teams that you shouldn't be beating and then lose to these teams.
yeah. My
Like, because
dad's
you do start off better, but then you just suck.
yeah. My dad said it perfectly. He said good teams don't blow leads, or
Yes.
good teams don't blow as many leads as you do.
Mm-hmm.
Good teams figure out how to lock it down and hold leads to win games. Canucks are unable to do that. And first of all, get fucking Stillman out of the lineup. That guy sucks. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why we roster him. There's Rathbone, our nephew, fucking anyone else that can play better than Riley Stillman. I don't know why we have him in our lineup. It doesn't make any sense. Add another righty. It does. I don't care about which hand or which way the defenseman shoots. Stillman sucks. He's so bad. I don't know why we're playing him. But my dad is right. Hall of Fame is right. The man is right. Good teams don't blow leads. Quit being blinded by the fact that we have a decent amount of goals for and we're in the top percentile of offense. We can't hold leads. And if you're like, I can't even celebrate scoring a goal because I just don't believe that we'll be able to contain it. So that's
Yeah.
just when you're at that point in fandom, it's miserable. I'd rather be bad and know that I'm bad when we don't win games.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that we have this reputation or this image of us where we should be a competitive team and we just aren't. We keep underperforming, and that is way more frustrating than just being in the position of a Chicago or Arizona where you are supposed to be shit, but you're kind of doing decent. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So it's just like it's so frustrating. I'd rather just pull a Buffalo and completely blow it up, or Chicago completely blow it up, and just build this from the get-go. But Aquilini won't let that happen, which is why we won't be successful under this ownership. We had a good run in 2011, 2010 to 2012, fine. But that's all that's going to be the peak of this organization. We're poverty franchise. Sell the team for fuck's sakes.
Yeah. I
Thank you
I
for coming to my
agree.
TED Talk.
And I got it for free. I would, if I was Aquilini, man, you could sell the Vancouver Canucks for such a high price right now because they are a good team. They're just ran so poorly. You know, you get in um someone who doesn't call out or cuss out your coach,
Yeah.
that is a bad image. I don't care if they were friends before. Like that just shows that you're unstable. You
Yeah.
know, especially letting it get out to the media. That's fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. What a man right there. But no, you like if you just do any sort of competent move that gets this team going in the right direction for defense wise and maintaining a 2 goal lead or a goal lead, then I really actually wonder what the stat would be. Is like, let's say we got up to a 2 goal lead and just played out and maybe scored 1 goal. I wonder how many games we would have won on the average of time that it takes them to score a goal, like to blow a lead. I wonder what the Canucks record would be.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the numbers behind that, but just from what I've seen, I just don't think we're anywhere close to competing for anything close to a cup, let
Mm.
alone a playoff spot or wild card spot in a weak division.
Do you know how many games this year that we've scored first?
No.
I might
I think
do I
I
might do some investigating here.
I think around half. But let's move on from the Canucks because we got a lot of talking points I want to get to.
Agreed.
Speaking of Vegas, Phil Kessel played his 1000th straight NHL game a few games ago against the Arizona Coyotes. He unfortunately didn't get any points, few shots on goal, but 1,000 straight NHL games, Hayden. How outrageous is that for a guy whose diet is Coca-Cola and fucking hot dogs? How unbelievable is that?
Dude, no, that's pretty fucking unbelievable. A
Like
thousand games.
some people fight to play 1,000 games in their career. He's played 1,000 straight.
Yeah.
Hasn't I
No,
mean
that's unreal.
there's been I know at least one game where his wife was in labor. He dressed up, played a couple shifts, and then left.
Hmm.
I think it's if you play at least minimum of 15 seconds or you record a stat in and then like at least 10 minutes. Like I'm not too sure the math on it, but I know he left like after a couple shifts and one just dropped the puck, went and hit like a I don't know, like a shot on goal or something like that, and then left. But nonetheless, 1,000 straight NHL games. That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So shout out to Phil the Thrill. He's been a pioneer of this league for many, many years. He's been like everyone's fan favorite for a while now. So shout out to Phil Kessel. Speaking of 1,000, Bergeron records his 1,000th NHL point. I don't know if you caught this, but it was I believe off an assist. He assisted Marchand's goal. And did
Hmm.
you see that the Bruins cleared the bench for Bergeron's point? I know you've kind of been off social media for a decent bit, and we're kind of maybe not catching some things, but um did you see this?
The reaction to it? No, I didn't see the reaction to it, but all I know is 1,000 points in anything just sounds unfucking real.
Yeah.
So huge congratulations, especially the wear and tear that Boston has been on. Just so cool.
Yeah.
Like what do you think's no, I definitely say it now that I think about it. I was gonna say, like, what do you think's better? Getting your 1,000th win as a goalie or your 1,000th career point as a player? Probably the win for a
Yeah.
goalie. But like each milestone that grows and grows and grows, it's so cool.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially for the type of forward he is. He isn't like a prolific goal scorer playmaker. He's a playmaker, but he's a two-way forward, which means
Hmm.
he puts as much emphasis on his defensive game as much as his offensive game, if not more on his defense. And to get 1,000 points in today's NHL is very, very impressive.
Pretty
And
unreal.
like he's been so consistent for so many years. It's like it's almost weird if he's not um nominated for a Selke Award. Like he's so consistent. He's like 80 points and just stellar defense. At some point, I would not be surprised if they change it to the Bergeron Award or something
Yep.
other than the Selke. Because Frank J. Selke he didn't even play in the NHL. He was a writer or some shit. So like
Yeah, they
Bergeron,
gotta they gotta change it to the Bergeron Award just because of how prolific he's been.
oh yeah, it's been crazy. So shout out to Bergeron. As much as I hate Boston and stuff, you can't not respect Patrice Bergeron. He's one of the few Bruins that I've ever liked. So shout out to him. Going along with the 1,000th game point theme, Malkin, he scores in his 1,000th NHL game. His son surprised him in the locker room to read the starting lineup. And I don't know if you saw the warm-ups, but everyone on Pittsburgh mimicked Malkin's warm-up, what he was doing, like his stretches and everything like
Yeah, I
that.
did. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did see that.
they were lying on their back doing like the scissors or whatever with their
Yeah, the
legs.
scissor legs.
Like,
Yeah.
imagine just being like a fan or like I saw this
A
comment.
casual.
I saw this comment. It was like, imagine you go to your first NHL game and this is what you see. It's like, what the fuck?
It's like
No,
watching like a high school football game and seeing like all the football players do the warm-ups like
yeah,
as a team. It's like,
yeah,
oh, this is like weird.
yeah, exactly. Or it's like you're a new transfer to East East High and High School Musical, and they just start singing everywhere, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, like is this normal?
Yeah, I didn't get this memo. No, but
Yeah.
it was an unbelievable scene. Shout out to Malkin. He's been one of the best Russian players of all fucking time. Easily top five Russian player to ever play this game. He's been unbelievable all around skill. So 1000th game, scores New Jersey Devils. It is hard to find a power rankings list that doesn't have this team either one or two. They have won 13 in a row after defeating the Oilers 5-2.
Yep.
Um, they can make it 14 in a row if they win versus Toronto when this comes out on Wednesday evening. And let me just like read out some stats for you here.
Read them
Um,
out.
6 out of the 13 games they've won by 3+ goals. They have been outscoring their opponents 56-24. They have a plus 20 goal differential in the first two periods, and 18 different players have recorded a point on this point streak, ranging from Jack Hughes having 18 points to Brendan Smith having 1 point. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It would be a full episode recording what this team has done in the 13 games. And I'm going to give you your fucking flowers again, Hayden. You were the only one that I've ever heard have this team making the playoffs. And you got them sneaking into the wild card, but this team might fucking win the East this
They
year.
literally might win the East. Yeah.
Like
No, and
they,
this is just absolutely grown my ego towards hockey. Something where you don't even know. Like I feel like I just know more about hockey than I do about football now. So watch out.
yeah, here they go. ESPN, get him a job.
Yeah.
But there's a few more here. Vitek Vanacek, after a rough start, allowing 5 in the home opener, if I'm not mistaken. This team was booed in the home opener. They were advocating to fire Lindy Ruff in the home opener after being blown out. And now they've won 13 in a row. They've lost 2 games since the home opener. But Vitek Vanacek in this stretch has been 9-0-0 with a .933 save percentage and 1.81 goals against average. What they're doing isn't unsustainable, or like it's sustainable what they're doing. They're not doing anything crazy. They're just young, skilled, fast. They got everything. They got a solid decor. Their goalies are stepping up to the level they need. And Hughes, Bratt, Sharangovich, other Vitches, like they got players on this team that are coming to play, and they're doing it just they're playing up to their potential. It's not like they're exceeding any expectations. They've developed this team the way they were supposed to, and now they're properly at the level where they're comfortable, confident, and they're just tearing it up. So like the New Jersey Devils, they are going to be scary for the rest of the season. They aren't like the old Devils where it was almost like a free W. This team is legit scary and just fucking fun to watch. They're like a new league pass team kind of thing. Like that whole phrase of NBA league pass. Like this team isn't really ready yet, but they're fun to watch kind of thing. They're a league pass team.
Mm-hmm.
That's what New Jersey is, except they're not ready yet. Like they look like they're
They
fucking
look
ready
like
to
they're ready.
contend. They're
Yeah.
ready to contend. They're not just, oh, I hope we have the best possible season we can. Like, no, they're fucking out for blood right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not be surprised if they make a ton of noise in the playoffs this year because at this rate, I don't think this is a fluke. I do think they will slide their way into the playoffs for sure. But I've taken enough of this. I want to hear your opinions on it because you are the fucking lunatic that chose this team to make the playoffs and you just look handsome as ever. with the way they're playing right now.
Well, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I'm an expert on the New Jersey Devils here.
But you are.
But let me say, man, if I'm calling this shot, um, this is honestly how I kind of see the Canadians' path going in the
Yeah.
next couple of years, because uh, New Jersey has built a culture. They built a culture towards young development, and it's just gonna push it out and keep pushing it out. And yeah, they've suffered through years of absolute despair, but you'd give away, or you'd take all that to do what New Jersey's doing now. So
Hyundai.
to see them, I didn't think they'd be this good.
I don't think
You
anyone
know,
did.
I thought the
13 straight.
Rangers, yeah, I thought the Rangers would sit atop of this division, and like, I didn't think any team in the Metro could possibly win 13 in a row. Especially, it's so funny, like looking at, um, like I just have a page of the divisions brought up on Google, and it gives me like their games played, wins, loss, overtime, loss, points, goals for, goals against, differential, and then last 10 games. Just seeing 1,000, 10-0-0.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anyone had New Jersey being this good. Some of them had them being competitive, all that, but no, they're out for blood this year, which is it's cool to see. It's cool to see because they haven't been this good like since going to the Cup final in like 2012. So shout out to them.
It's also really cool to see the Pacific, Atlantic, and the Metro. They all have the top team, like their differential is like at least 20. No, it's 25 plus in each division, except for the Central, who have the Stars and the Avalanche. But then even from like number 2 to number 3, it's like 10, but like 25 goals against plus. Fucked.
Yeah,
Absolutely fucked.
yeah. Speaking of win streaks, the Blues have turned it around since we've last kind of shat on them.
You called
Uh,
it, man.
Blues have won 7 straight. Kyrou is back on his again, like he's back to his point per game. Um in this streak, he has 6 goals. No, 2 goals, 6 assists in his last 5 games. He's on a 5-game heater right now. Wait, I want to bring up one thing. Did you see that reporter ask Jack Hughes the question about New Jersey's inconsistencies?
I did hear about it, but I don't remember how it went.
So 4 games ago, when they were on when they won 9 in a row, this is one of the dumbest questions I've ever seen a reporter ask this question for a team in New Jersey's position. So they're on 9-game heater post game. They asked Jack Hughes, have you had any thought or looked back on how the New Jersey Devils can fix their inconsistencies throughout 60 minutes or something like that? And Jack Hughes with an all-time reply just says, I mean, we're on a 9-game heater, so I think we're doing all right. All-time reply to a fucking ridiculously dumb question by the reporter. Why would
You know what that reminds me of? Do you remember like that Travis Scott interview with like that one like
like
sort of
Nardwar
like, yeah. How do you keep your pants up when you're performing?
belt?
Belt. Like, that is such a stupid question to ask someone. That is purely you don't know hockey and you're trying to find something
Yeah.
to pick out. And it's like, we've won 9 games in a row. What inconsistencies are you talking about here?
And why does it fucking matter?
Yeah. Why don't
You
you say
know,
like, how have you kept this streak alive?
yeah.
That's a better question.
Like what stands out to you to like what key parts of your game stick out to you to helping you win 9 in a row? But don't bring up inconsistencies to someone who's on a 9-game heater and they haven't stopped then. They're on 13. But anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because
That's
I
fucking
thought
hilarious.
I said heater and I was like, oh wait, I have to bring up this quote. I totally forgot about it. But yeah, Blue 7 straight. Kyrie 2 goals, 6 assists the last 5. Pavel Buchnevich won second star of the week, courtesy of the NHL. 10 points in his last 7. Binnington has improved his record to 10-8 and something, 10-8 and 1 or something like that. But Blues 7 straight. They're back on the wagon. They're back being scary to the team that they should be. I don't know what this team's deal is with starting off slow. I know their players starting off slow, but they seem to be back in the groove again. So cool to see the Blues do that. A lot of people were overreacting with them too. Like trade everyone, fire Berube, whatever, but I don't think that's going to be happening. Anything on the Blues?
Their upcoming games are a tough stretch right now. And if they like versing the Sabres, the Lightning, the Panthers, the Stars, the Hurricanes, the Penguins, the Rangers, Islanders, Jets, Avalanche, and Predators, like those are their next like handful of games.
Some tough opponents there.
Yeah, you got some pretty tough opponents. So if you make it out of that like above 500, then I think that tells you maybe that this team is a last wild card spot sort of team.
Yeah.
If they come above that, above 750, that tells you they're a for sure playoff team. If they come anywhere below that, then it just shows that they're not the team that we thought they were.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go on the note, and I'm going to say that if they're playing better, 7-game win streak isn't a stroke of luck. I think they can definitely prove a lot of people wrong and say, like, yeah, we just started slow.
Yeah. No,
Sorry about that.
I think that's what it is because they have the pieces to play good. Like Justin Falk is playing well as well. Like Torrey Krug's playing good. Like they have some parts on every level of their game, every level of their roster that's starting to pick it up now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you could ask for a better position to be in going into that stretch of games than they are in right now. You don't want to be on a 5-game skid going into that or just playing poorly and maybe 500 in your last 6 or whatever. Like, oh, excuse me.
Nice.
I couldn't talk properly because I just had that
Had it ready to
in my
load it.
chest. But no, 7-game heater is the perfect position to be in going into that game because you're just riding on momentum. You're playing with what's working. Everyone's oiled up. So, no, Blues are back. Erik Karlsson, just since we last recorded, 7 points in the week, +1 rating, 15 shots on goal, 5 blocks. San Jose's 500, including a win versus Vegas 5-2. He has 11 goals and 18 assists on this season. San Jose's looking to trade offers for him, which is the right thing to do, but it's just a matter of how much they're going to retain because he has 4 years left on an $11.5 million deal. Like,
if you're the Sharks, you have to sell high.
Oh, you 100%.
You have to sell high. Like, Erik Karlsson is playing out of his mind. People are already saying, like, he's in the 100-point question this year. And I don't know if I disagree.
Like, he's on pace for 116. It's just so hard to keep up with that pace.
It is, but like he looks so good.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I think he might have a season similar to Roman Josi last year where he might be in the 80 to 90 points. But like
that's amazing still. It's a defenseman getting 80 to 90 points.
Especially on a team like San Jose where they're near the bottom of the table. But no, he is unbelievable. If you were a team trading for Karlsson, what is the most of his contract you would take on? 4 years left. What's the most you would do? Take into age and you can't be certain he's going to keep up this play.
Depending on what his team needs are, depending on what the team needs are. Man, that's so tough. Obviously, if it goes to trade deadline, you don't take anything more than a quarter of what he has left this year because that's just the way you do business. I'm not gonna say you take on half of his remaining salary because that's just so unreasonable. But if you trade for him, San Jose is gonna want to get at least 75% of it of the contract gone, so that they're not stuck paying an old motherfucker who's not even playing for them. It's just, ah, that's so tough. Because if you're the team that wants him, that wants to go on the run, that isn't so sure, like how much do you pay?
Yeah,
How
because
much do you retain?
I saw like numbers from like $7 to $9 million that he's worth. So if you're trading for him, he's making 11 and a half. They're basically saying you hang on to $3.5 to $4 million of this for the next 4 years, and we'll pay the last bit. So what you're saying is basically right. You're going to take on 75% of the contract. San Jose pays a quarter of it for the next 4 years, and you get picks and a prospect from it. Selling high on a 32-year-old defenseman who's back to what looks like prime Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it's weird if he doesn't get a point because he's just playing so well.
Because
So
he's playing absolutely unfucking real.
yeah. Jacob Chikrin makes his return for the Arizona Coyotes. This should start boosting or revamping some old trade talks that were happening last season. He made a season debut against Nashville. He was -1 with 2 shots on goal and 2 blocks. The last time he played was March 12th, where he had a foot injury and had to recover from wrist surgery. So that's all. He's back playing. We'll see where he ends up. Hayden, are you with me?
I am still with you. Do not worry.
All right. Do you have any guesses on where he might be traded? There were some talks about him going to Ottawa, maybe St. Louis.
I was just about to say Ottawa.
Yeah, Ottawa needs all the fucking help they can
They
get.
do.
Um, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it comes up. I think he's gonna go to around one of those few teams. But a few more notes here. Marian Hossa's number 81 was retired by Chicago versus Pittsburgh back on Sunday. He was a Stanley Cup champion in 2010, 13, and 15 after losing back-to-back cups in 2008 on Pittsburgh and then switching to Detroit in 2009 and then losing that Stanley Cup to the team he left. Think about that. Like, that is brutal.
That is brutal.
He signed a 1-year contract in the prime of his career because he wanted to play with a loaded Detroit team, which I understand because
Of
who
course,
wouldn't want
reasonable.
to? Because he just played them and he's like, I want to know what it's like playing with them. Played with them, got back to the cup final, lost to the team that he left. And then he's like, do you know what? Screw this. Goes to Chicago, signs like a 10 or 13-year deal, whatever. And then lo and behold, the following year, he gets his Stanley Cup with Chicago, and then now he's an integral part of the dynasty. So it was more than deserved to get his number 81 retired. Fortunately, he had to retire due to like a skin condition that he was getting from the equipment. It was giving him rashes and pain and stuff like that, to the point where he was only playing games. He wasn't practicing. So then he just kind of called it. But Marian Hossa, absolute beauty. McDavid, did you see his overtime goal against Vegas?
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't he lose to Vegas? No.
Search it up. I'll
I'm
go
searching
through
it up right
I'll
now.
go through notes. You search it up.
Yep.
I'll go through some more. Montreal Canadiens defeat Philly. Gold Caulfield is just on fire this season. Ties it up with 3 seconds to go in the game. The Bell Center is just proved to be one of the best arenas in the NHL and in the world. The atmosphere there is just unbelievable, and that Caulfield goal proved that. Montreal went on to win in a shootout. Thanks
I
to some
saw that tying goal by Caulfield.
dude. That energy looked crazy.
Dude, how much did you say that the Bell Center can hold again?
I think it's like 18,000 or something.
Is it only 18,000?
I could be wrong. It might be like 20,000,
Let me
but
see.
it's on my bucket list to go to a Habs game because of that arena alone.
21,000.
Yeah, and like no matter the status of the team, they're always fucking there. Like
They are.
it's always close to being sold out. So that goal was crazy. Colorado, they're climbing the ranks this season after a bit of a slow start, but thanks to Alexander Georgiev, who didn't quite get a fair shake in New York, gets traded to Colorado and is not taking his starting job for granted. He got his first shutout with Colorado versus Washington. He's 8-2-1 with a 2.45 goals against average and a 930 save percentage. I said it at the beginning. All he needed was a chance to play, and he wasn't getting that opportunity with Shesterkin. And I get it. Shesterkin is one of the best goalies in the world. I get it. But I mean, to evaluate a goalie fairly, you need to see him play. And if you're immediately calling Gorgiev shit or a bad trade for Colorado, whatever, how do you know if he's only playing 13 games out of 82? Like, it's just not fair for him. Out of his 11 out of the 16 games, he's 8-2-1, and he's playing solid. And yes, any goalie can be solid against Colorado, but also they're getting the wins thanks to him as well, right? Like
No, definitely.
there's multiple games he's getting over 30 saves and stuff like that. So he's keeping them in it as much as they're keeping him in it. So Gorgiev just playing out of his mind right now.
I agree. Is he starting tomorrow against Vancouver?
Probably.
That'll be good to see.
Yeah.
Actually, funny thing about Vancouver and Colorado. Do you know what it was a year ago, like 3 days ago?
We
all went to go see the Colorado versus Canucks game.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How did that game end? Did we just lose?
Colorado won 3-2.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I remember that
the Canucks were up.
Oh, what a surprise. I remember there a kind of 7-6 game. That was a crazy game. It happened like Besser's rookie year or something like that. It was unreal. Did you see McDavid's goal yet?
Yeah, I did. Absolutely, just the goaltender just looking like frozen.
Yeah.
Like, how did that just go top cheddar on me?
At this point, are you even surprised when he scores a goal like that? It's just like it's almost it's just a goal for him. It's not even like a highlight reel.
Draisaitl just like he went out of the blue line. McDavid goes like, was it Nurse?
Yeah, Nurse had it, but Draisaitl was on the ice. But Nurse.
Oh, I thought it was. The announcer said Draisaitl, but I guess I'm just behind. Or I was behind, but yeah, Nurse just goes out of the blue line, passes it up to McDavid. McDavid blitzes through and edges them out, and then just goes boop.
Yeah, top bunk.
Like,
smell ya.
And then the goalie's just like looking there. He's like,
okay,
how the fuck did that happen?
How do I stop that? Yeah, it's fun.
Like, I'm supposed to have two defenders on this guy. I'm taking the only angle that he can do, and he beats me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Last couple notes here. Cale Makar gets his 200th career point in win versus Dallas.
Already? Jesus Christ.
He is the fastest defender to get to 200 points. It took him 195 games.
He's only 24.
Yeah, he's fucking gross. He's illegal. He was built in a lab.
He's only gonna get better too. That is, oh my god, man.
Bruins. They beat Chicago for 11 straight home games, tying a franchise record. Like we've been discussing this entire time, they're just an absolute fucking wagon this year. So nothing surprised here. I didn't think they were going to be this good, but they keep proving people wrong every year. And then some injury updates. I don't know if we discussed this last week, but I'm just going to reiterate it again just in case. Laine is up on the IR with a sprained ankle.
We did say that, yeah.
Morgan Riley placed on LTIR with a knee injury, so that means at least 10 games or 24 days.
That one was new.
Marc-Andre Fleury placed on the IR with an upper body injury. And
yep, that was great for my one fantasy game that I had with him.
And Jack Campbell, as innocent as can be on the bench, takes a puck to the face, gets a broken nose. He'll be out indefinitely. That's just how Campbell's season is going. Even when he's not playing, he's
apparently Campbell is supposed to actually play tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure I saw that.
I guess like if it's not like they have face covering always, so like maybe it's not as bad. Maybe it's like a minor fracture, but he does have a broken nose. So
yeah, it does. Yeah, exactly what you said. He has a broken nose, but said he's despite Campbell ready to play for Oilers despite having nose broken.
All right. Well, shout out to him.
Yeah.
Is that Canadian? Oh no, he's American, I think. So never mind. But that's all I got for some hockey news. It was a heavy dose for you people, but a lot happened. So Hayden, um, hand it HB, toss it over to you for some NFL news.
Pitch it up the right side. Oh, he's
Yeah,
going and he gets fucking blown up.
yeah.
What a surprise. All right. Well, we're gonna try something new this week.
All right.
Um, the NFL schedule, it goes long as shit. And you know what? We don't need to talk about all the games because a lot of them fucking suck. And a
Hey,
lot of the
hey, hey.
teams suck.
Hey, hey, hey. That Patriots Jets game was so entertaining.
I mean, it has a cool stat for it. That is the first time that only one defense and special teams has ever created more points than both offenses.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't surprise.
7 points compared to 6, not counting extra point, obviously, because
Yeah.
that's special teams. But the defense slash special teams of the Patriots, special teams of the Jets, Patriots, sorry, created more points than the offense of both teams, which is absolutely unreal. But you know what? We will talk about your game because obviously hosting the show, we gotta say exactly how we feel. But we'll start it off with the big one. Actually, no. You know what? We'll go into news first because there was a lot of fucking shit that went down
Hmm.
in the past week. Um, Cardinals fire assistant coach Sean Krugler. Um, maybe fire the head coach too. Like
Yeah.
Cliff sucks. Um,
Are the Arizona Cardinals kind of like the Vancouver Canucks?
no,
Okay.
no, they fucking just suck.
All right.
They purely just suck. Um, like I don't know how much longer Cliff Kingsbury is gonna have for coaching, but it's
Because
not looking good.
I just feel like you can't really defend them anymore. Like he just makes too many like
No,
errors, and he's had so many opportunities to get this team far, but haven't been able to do it. And I just
no,
feel like they're in the worst possible position to be in. This is why I kind of related them to Canucks, is because both teams are in a weird position where they're in no man's land. They're not good enough to compete for a Super Bowl, but they're too good to be at the bottom of the league. So it's like it's easier and probably better for the team to commit to losing so you can just rebuild it back up properly instead of just trying to put some band-aids on it to fill the holes in the roster. It's not sustainable. So that's why I kind of related to
you know what? I
Arizona to
will relate it
Vancouver.
to that because for the same reason that the Canucks paid JT Miller way too much, I think they paid Kyler Murray way too
Yeah.
much.
Because he's what, 4 more years at like almost $50 million a year?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's not getting anywhere close to that this year, but obviously next year, the year after, incentives keeps rising and rising.
Yeah.
He's just gonna make so much money for such an average quarterback. Great athlete. I'll say it. I'll always say great athlete, mid to below average quarterback.
Yeah.
And it, like, okay, yeah, you have DeAndre Hopkins, but like Cliff Kingsbury, man, why the fuck did you let Eno Benjamin go? I don't get it. They make stupid decisions. They fire the assistant coach.
Almost scapegoating him.
Yeah, it literally is a
Yeah.
scapegoat. Yeah. Rams, surprising, shocking move. Daryl Henderson has been waived. Kind of a shocker because also Melvin Gordon yesterday was waived. Two big running back names on the market for teams who I'm gonna bring up Buffalo because holy fuck. What was the point of trading for Naeem Hines? Like they've I think his snap share is below 5% for the past 3 games that he's been there.
That's ridiculous. I understand the first week of like trading for him because he doesn't
Of
understand the
course.
playbook, but
You
his
want to
job,
see week 3 a little bit, more.
You can, because with a player like Naheem Hines, you can limit his role to his strengths so that he only needs to learn a quarter of the playbook. Like you don't have to bring
Yeah.
him out for pass blocking and what routes to run and stuff. Play him in screens. So you just fake like you're blocking and then pop out for a screen. That's not hard for him to learn because the rest of
No,
the team knows it.
exactly.
Like he, play to his strengths, which doesn't have to be the entire playbook. That's how you limit a snap share. Don't
Hmm.
limit it with just going up for a pass block and then running a route that you're never going to intend to throw him to. You want to
No,
get him in the game. That's why you
exactly.
traded for him. You didn't
Eh,
trade for his pass blocking ability. You traded because he's a good receiving back, and you need that in your offense.
I couldn't agree with you more. And the shocking part is like they gave up a draft pick for him too. And it's like, why would you give up a draft pick for him when James Cook, brother of Dalvin Cook, is looking amazing now?
Yeah.
Like against the Browns defense, 11 rushes, 85 yards. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's coming into his
So,
own now.
exactly. So trading for him just kind of seems stupid. But now, yeah, you get Daryl Henderson and Melvin Gordon both on waivers. I know Gordon's had his fumbling issues, and Henderson is a bit of a smaller back, but both are very, very interesting names to throw out into a conversation for potential Super Bowl running teams.
Yeah. I just
So
I never really understood Daryl Henderson's role on LA.
I don't get Sean McVay.
I didn't think I Daryl Henderson's a good running back, but they would always judge him on like his first rush of the game. If it was bad, they wouldn't play him for the rest of the game. But if he broke out like an 8 yard run, they'd maybe give him more carries.
Dude, that's just the Rams system, man. Like,
It doesn't make sense.
it's the same thing with Cam Akers and their new third round running back that they drafted this past year who looks like he has juice,
Yeah,
but it's like where was the attempt to trade Akers or Henderson at the deadline?
yeah.
Like if you're just going to drop him or waive him, I just don't get it. I don't
They
get it.
could have gotten like a fifth or something. They could have got something for him.
Literally, you have no first round picks for like the next 4 years, man.
You need something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Panthers
Who
have
has, sorry to interrupt you, who
all
has
good.
LA's first round pick this year? Is
Detroit.
it Detroit still?
Yeah.
Ooh, Detroit's feasting off of that one
Detroit.
right
Oh my
now.
God. Detroit is they could have 2 top 10 picks.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And they
Absolutely.
better pin it to the defense.
Oh, dude, they have to. Like it's
Yeah.
either that or like one of those top 2 picks has to be a quarterback, of course. But you also need to like spend up. Like your second probably needs to be defense.
Yeah,
Like you have running back pieces. You have Jamison Williams, who is coming off of
he's
the
practicing now. He's
yeah, he's
practicing.
practicing, which is
Yeah.
huge. Absolutely huge. But Jared Goff is not the long-term answer.
No.
Your defense, Jeff Okuda is a baller. Aiden Hutchinson uh, making defensive rookie of the year
He's
nominations
playing
earn his
secondary
way.
he's playing secondary and D line with those fucking interceptions he had.
Dude, that interception that he had
It's crazy.
was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. But back to it. Panthers name Sam Darnold to start in week 12. It
Forgot he
just
was on the
shows
team.
you what?
Forgot he was on the team, not gonna lie.
Yeah, almost. It just shows you how bad Baker Mayfield is.
Yeah, I try to defend him this year. Maybe he have a chip on his shoulder, but even when
When you
healthy,
get
he
beat
just
out
can't.
by Sam Darnold, man, it's tough. I know it's the Carolina Panthers, but PJ Walker did something, okay?
Yeah.
Um Kenny Pickett seems to be the starter going ahead,
Mm-hmm.
which
Doesn't
yeah,
doesn't surprise me.
doesn't surprise me either. I don't really think he's like great,
He's
but
not the answer, but
he's a good 4-year stopgap.
yeah. He's just gonna be like a Jared Goff, I think.
Yeah, I see
If
that kind
that.
of route going for him. If they don't do anything to help the offensive line,
Yeah.
I just don't know. And Deontay Johnson might not even be a Steeler next year because of how bad it could get. And Deontay Johnson is a great player. Like
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of things this year are really setting me off. But that being said, let's get into week 11. of the NFL.
Um, did you want to get to the Rourke news now, or did you want to talk about that later?
Let's do that. Let's talk about all the CFL stuff and finalize that. CFL officially done. I thought I was pretty confident with the West winning. Toronto, Andrew Harris revenge game.
Yeah.
Uh, McLeod Bethel Thompson, the starter for Toronto, goes out. Chad Kelly, of all people.
What happened to Chad Kelly when he like went to court or something? I couldn't find it on the internet on like what struggles he went through.
Honestly, I don't even know. I've never even really heard of Chad Kelly before in my life.
Because he
I
was
don't
like a
know his whole life story.
because he was like a prominent in college and stuff like that, and he got some shares at the NFL, but and something happened to him where a lot of people were defending him and happy for him, but like he deserves it. And like Sean Oakman on Toronto, he got the Grey Cup
Yeah.
after everything he went through.
Yes.
And I knew about Sean Oakman's story, but I couldn't find Chad Kelly, so I was wondering if you knew, but
I never really have heard of it, mostly because all I knew about was McLeod Bethel Thompson. But yeah, he went down to injury. Chad Kelly comes in, and I mean, how could you not be happy for Sean Oakman, man?
yeah.
Like, he obviously went through something I don't ever want
Explain
to
it for people who
ever.
don't know if they haven't
A
give
lot
a
of
quick synopsis on what happened with Sean Oakman.
will do. A lot of rape accusations against football players are very prominent these days. Um, Obviously, you want to believe the victims, but in a case as the Sean Oakman case, it really puts a question to it, which really hurts women who are actually trying to fight for something, and it hurts the men who are actually decent human beings.
Yeah.
Sean Oakman was a victim of a false rape allegation, and he was sentenced to 4 years in prison as a 19-year-old. He looked like he was going to be the next Jadeveon Clowney, the next, or the before Miles Garrett, like an absolute beast. There's a perfect meme picture of who Sean Oakman is. If you just search up Sean Oakman Baylor, there's a nice picture of seeing his six pack
Yeah,
as
you'll
he's doing a coin flip.
yeah, you probably saw the meme going around not knowing who Sean Oakman is, and as soon as you see it, you'll be like, "Oh, that's who it is."
That's who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so obviously he was sentenced to prison. He gets in there. I think it was only for 2 or 3 years, but 2 or 3 years changes a human being. And then one day the woman just came out and said, like, yeah, I made it all up. As I know, that woman has not been put into prison, which I think
It's bullshit.
if you make a false rape allegation, you should be thrown in prison for being a shitty human being.
For
Like there's
for
no,
the same sentence. If
yeah,
they're
exactly.
sentenced to 4 years and you made it up, you should be sentenced and serving that full 4 years.
Definitely, 100%. But unfortunately, the judicial system sucks ass. There's no charge that can be pressed that is in that type of like way. Yeah, she is whoever this person was, whoever this person is, absolutely terrible human being. Fuck you, Sean Oakman. You're a fucking baller.
Yeah. So
Like,
happy for him to
so
see that he
happy.
was because I knew he was in the CFL, I just didn't know he was on Toronto, and I saw the news that he was on Toronto and he won the Grey Cup. I was really happy for him
I'm pretty
because
sure I told you that earlier this year
I
too.
I I I remember you telling me. I couldn't remember what team
Mm,
you said.
yes. Okay.
Um, but yeah, I saw that and I was like, if anyone deserves a ring in football and a second chance,
It's
it's
Sean
that guy
Oakman.
because he was supposed to be a big deal in the NFL, but that jail sentence and that tag against him obviously hurt his stock and everything going for him,
Of course.
obviously. But when you're in jail and yeah, like I made it up, he's not going to get that opportunity back.
No. No, he
So
never
like,
does because the NFL doesn't want anything to do with him now.
yeah, so like it was good to see him win and like have like he has something to cheer about now, and it's awesome.
Absolutely. Uh, but yes. Uh, Toronto wins. Amazing season. Great way to end it. Halftime show, the halftime of Mid. I'm not a big country guy.
I
All I
didn't
knew
I didn't mind it,
was
but
all I knew was just Cruise. That's
yeah.
the only song I knew. The rest of it, it's like I just hope Vancouver has like a better halftime show.
Yeah, it's hard for open um top stadiums to have good music because it just doesn't bounce off anything. So
I
it's hard to
agree.
get good sound. So and BC Place isn't probably going to be any better
No, it's
because
probably not because it's so open.
it might be worse.
Yeah. But you
But
know what? Um, I'll take the Lumineers and the Arkells of last year's Grey Cup because like they were
Arkells is
really
great.
good. They
Arkells
were
is great.
great. Yeah. And I love obviously people will complain it's like, "Oh, it's so hard to get Canadian people." Well, no shit. You don't promote anything. You don't
Yeah,
try and get anyone. If like I could actually see Amar Doman, Vancouver chairman basically. I could see him trying to go for um past Grey Cup performers, Nickelback, because they're still rocking, they're still
dude.
rolling.
If you
Came
want
out
to,
with an album on Friday.
dude, you will sell out the Super Bowl with their halftime tag alone.
Oh, easily the Super Bowl, let alone the Grey Cup.
You
You
could
know?
say Nickelback performing coming to Vancouver without even telling people it's the Grey Cup, and they will fucking sell out BC Place. And then they'll be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's a football game," and they're performing. Oh shit, okay,
We get a football game with this concert. Let's fucking
yeah,
go.
dude. Nickelback. I would go to the Grey Cup just for fucking Nickelback.
Uh,
Nickelback is a great
Dude,
time.
I want to buy season tickets that year specifically to go because you get Grey Cup tickets when you go. Like obviously you pay for them,
Yeah,
but you get them at a way better price. And it's
yeah.
like I would 100% pay for them.
And if you want concession sales and like beer sales, Nickelback is the way to go too.
100%.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah. Now like what you alluded to, the Nathan Rourke news. This
Which I think
kid,
came out what like a day after we uploaded or
uh, literally,
like the
yeah,
day we
the
uploaded
day
or
up
something.
we uploaded, yeah. Adam Schefter,
The
BC
boss man.
Lions, BC Lions quarterback Nathan Rourke is already turning heads in the NFL, and I have come up with a list that could use him, um, for any which position or any which like play style you want because why not? If you're a team that doesn't have an answer at quarterback, why not take a shot on a kid who's not even going to put you up against the cap?
Yeah, like
Um,
people compare his play style to Burrow. Maybe not talent level, but play style. He can scramble if he needs to, but he slices defenses up from the pocket.
exactly. Uh, so with that being said, here is my list: Atlanta Falcons, potential starter; Carolina Panthers, potential starter; Chicago Bears, no; Arizona Cardinals, not with what they've done with quarterback; Dallas, no; Detroit, yes; Green Bay, backup; LA, backup; Minnesota, backup; New Orleans, starter; New York, starter; Philadelphia Eagles, no.
Jets or Giants?
Oh, Giants, sorry. I mean both New
Yeah.
York teams, but
No, that
we'll get into another fucking part because how much I defended a guy. San Francisco, with the Trey Lance, it's too questionable. I wouldn't do it.
but
Seattle,
with the way Jimmy Garoppolo's been playing, Rourke kind of fits the way Jimmy plays as well. And
pretty
like
much,
so like I
and he
don't
might
think
do
it
it
would
better
hurt.
because he's younger.
Yeah,
So
I don't think it would be a really good play to he'd be like a kind of like a Sam Ellinger where he would play up from a third string and then once kind of Jimmy goes it'd make Jimmy more expendable. You got a younger Jimmy in there,
yep,
he plays well, whatever. You got him to come in for Lance.
yeah. I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like if it was Rourke, I know the type of guy he is. He'd probably want to play for a team that he can start for, regardless of where that team is in like power rankings. And San Fran, they're like top 5 right now because
Yeah.
they are playing amazing. Seattle, that could be a great destination because he's so close. And I feel like people from Seattle are like the same with people from BC. They both like, oh, if I had to cheer for a CFL team, it'd be this one.
Yeah.
And Canadian people would be like, oh, if I had to cheer for an NFL team, it'd be this one.
Yeah.
Tampa, potentially with Brady on the way out next
Backup
year.
kind of thing.
Backup, yeah. And Washington, backup, maybe starter.
Yeah. I think they're riding the high off Taylor
They're
Heineke
definitely riding the high off of Heineke.
and Wentz is gonna be on the way out on his like third team in 3 years or some bullshit.
Yes.
So it's like that, yeah, that's a different conversation. But no, there's a lot of teams that could use Rourke's
And that's just the
play.
that's just the NFC. Like I know the AFC is a lot more quarterback friendly and a lot more quarterback heavy,
Well,
but
let me run through some of the AFC teams and I'll give you my opinions here.
okay, yeah, do it.
Broncos backup,
Backup.
Raiders backup,
Backup.
Chargers.
No.
I don't think so.
They're logged with Herbert.
Yeah. Chiefs, no.
No.
Texans, yes.
Yes, starter.
Jaguars backup. I don't know about Trevor
Backup.
Lawrence though. He's pretty young, hasn't played yet.
Agreed.
Colts, holy fuck, yes.
Yes.
Tennessee, yes, but Malik Willis is still young. They still probably want him.
Yep.
I mean,
Backup.
he's not surefire though. Steelers, anything at this point.
Yep.
Browns probably not because they just gave
Because Deshaun
250
Watson.
mil to Watson. Cincy, no.
No.
Maybe backup. Baltimore, no. It's not
No.
the right play style. The Jets, yes.
Yes.
Patriots, yes. I'd bring him in.
Why not?
Like Mac doesn't seem like he's the answer right now. Bills, no.
No.
Maybe backup, but probably not. And then Miami, if
No.
anything, it'd be backup at most, but
Yeah.
probably not. So like the AFC is more backup roles as opposed to the NFC, but there's still some teams who are on the fence who wouldn't mind looking at him because
Definitely not.
especially New England, Zappy and Jones haven't really shown like, okay, yeah, this guy's the future. And
Yes.
maybe Rourke just comes and does a lot more. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah,
I'm really excited to see because it was like right after they got eliminated that it was
right
like
after.
he's going for tryouts next week. It's like, holy shit. I was maybe expecting the end of the year or something like that or whatever,
And
but like
tryouts for him start tomorrow.
that was so exciting.
I am so excited for this. I'm so fucking pumped.
Yeah.
And by tomorrow, I mean today, because that's when obviously we're releasing this. So news could break anywhere that he'd be practicing for a certain team. So
yeah.
I'm excited to look for it. I'm excited to watch out for it. But
all right, let's get into week 11.
Week 11. Week 11. I mean, we'll start with Thursday night.
Yeah, let's talk about prime times and kind of notable games that happened.
Agreed. Christian Watson, amazing to see him coming into a potential wide receiver 1 role because Rodgers looks like he's pissed. And Derrick Henry, how can you stop this guy?
Yeah, you corrected me on I was like maybe fade him this year, but he's just
you can't fade the king.
You can't fade the king. You're correct. Can't
Ride
fade
him like Tom Brady, bro.
Exactly.
The next like that's all you can really say.
Yeah.
The Packers beating Dallas. I don't know how. There's no way to explain that because I think the Cowboys could literally murder the Titans. And then the Titans do that, but yet the Cowboys lose to Green Bay.
I saw this one tweet and it was like, for once Mike McCarthy helped Green Bay win.
Yeah.
I thought that was an all-time tweet.
That was a good one. Yeah, no, I saw that too and I was like, oh yeah, that's your Patriots beat the Jets, but wow.
In the last 15 seconds.
Yep. And I think the biggest news to come from that is I might officially be off the Zach Wilson train after his comments that he made.
Oh my God, what a fucking idiot.
I've stood up for this guy. I have said like he just needs to flourish. He has the pieces. He has people. He has players. bro, you gotta take accountability for how
You're
shit you played, man. You didn't throw for over 100 yards. Your average yards per play were measured in inches, man. Like you, and to say no after being asked the question if you think that you let your defense down, bro, your defense held the Patriots to 3 points. No, that is a joke. But I will say the comments made by Booger McFarland on Monday Night Football. Did you see that?
I might have.
Booger McFarland said that Zach Wilson has never had to take accountability in his life because he comes from a rich white family. Now, Booger McFarland, don't make this about race. Okay, this is not how you want to play this card. He has to take accountability because of his fucking actions.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not had to take accountability more than like a lot of other people. Yeah, but that doesn't you can't base it off of because of his racial status and how he
Literally,
grew up.
I don't want
Like,
to go too deep into this, but literally, if the opposite thing was said,
oh, if Steve Young said that about like
a young
I don't
black
know
kid,
about Jamarcus Russell, because
yeah,
that is who people are comparing Wilson to right now, bro, flame the earth.
yeah, it's just the principle. Like you can't say that, man.
No,
But
no, and that's just such a bad. That's just at least such a bad taste in my mouth for
yeah,
knowing of who Booger McFarland is. Like he's a great, great analyst, and that was just one of the shittiest things I've ever heard him say.
yeah. He was a walking soundbite when he had his old job. Like he was hilarious. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's a 1st and 10, so like the team has to get 10 yards to make another first down. It's like he would say shit like that, and it was just like, all right, thanks for nothing. But it was an out of pocket statement that he said, and it should like it's not really you can't say that on live TV. You just can't say that. So, but I mean
No.
Zach Wilson, he in the 8 weeks he's started or whatever, he's had 4 passing touchdowns, and Joe Flacco had 5 in 3 weeks that he played. Like when you're looking at Flacco, who was in the Super Bowl in 2012, to be competing more than what people said, sniff, sniff, and like pointing over to you, to be the first overall pick in the draft,
Yeah.
it's just like you have to take every cent, every pound of accountability.
And I think this is the difference between where he is now and where he could be. Let's say he made a comment about how when the Jets beat Buffalo. Excuse me, look at what Josh Allen said. He says, it's hard to win when your quarterback plays like shit. He's calling himself out. He's
Yeah.
taking accountability. And Allen didn't even have that bad of a game.
Yeah.
Like, he still provided somewhat, like, decent offense. You provided nothing.
Yeah, I think
Nothing.
what did he run? He threw for like 77 yards or some shit.
77 yards.
Yeah, that's brutal.
And you missed wide open people. You completed 9 passes, man. You complete 9 passes, there's something wrong. Like, did you get injured? No. What the fuck happened then? Joe Flacco wins this game.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco hits the targets that he needs to hit. And I sure hope to God, if Jet fans need or feel the need to like say what do we have to do to win, you gotta hope that Saleh actually commits to saying, yeah, Wilson's job is up in the air and Flacco starts, because at least with the Joe Flacco-ness, you got like fun wins. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got bad losses, but you got a fun couple of wins.
Well, Salah did come out and say that he hasn't committed to Zach Wilson for next
I
week.
know. I'm saying,
So
like, I hope, like, they have to hope it comes to fruition.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Because like, did you see that video of the Patriots posted? They were filming like Jets fans, and they're like, "Do you have anything positive to say about Patriots, or like the Patriots or Patriots fans or whatever?" And the
Oh, and then
first
they
few
cuts
were
to
like,
Zach
the
Wilson
first
saying,
people were like the fans in the stands, and they're like, "No, no, no," and they play the Zach Wilson clip, and he's like, "No, no." It was fucking hilarious. And people in the comments were
Uh,
like, not the Zach Wilson clip. It
dude,
was
that's fucking
and
hilarious.
honestly, there was some Jets fans that like they said some nice things about them. They were like, I respect their greatness. Like their defense is really good. Like their coaching is unbelievable. Like they had actually I've a
Hmm.
lot of Patriots fans were like, that's a good Jets fan. You don't see those often.
Yeah. No,
But
that's
just like the cameo of Zach Wilson in that clip, who it was
yeah.
comedy. It was
Yeah, no,
comedy. But
I'm officially off this Zach Wilson uh this Zach Wilson like quarterback one status. After that comment that he made, I just I can't say that I support someone who doesn't take accountability
can't
for.
defend him anymore.
No, no, you can't, because if he can't do the simplest thing and say, yeah, it's my fault, then I can't trust him to lead me down a drive. And if he throws a pick and he says it's not his fault, no,
Yeah.
no, you have to take it on the chin and be a man. Like, yeah, you fucked a mom, but this means more to football players.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Patriots get the squeaky win.
Yeah, punt return last 25 seconds. So shout out Jones for that one.
Shout out.
Cheers, buddy.
Um, New Orleans beats the Rams.
This team confuses me, Hayden.
Dude. Well, okay. Alvin Kamara gets more than 12 touches. What happens when that happens?
We
They
win the
win the
game.
game. Oh my God. Taysom Hill. This was the most fun offense I've ever seen New Orleans ran. Like, having Taysom Hill and Andy Dalton literally switch out quarterbacks the whole drive on one drive, that was so funny, because it's like, I don't even know what they're gonna do now.
Yeah.
Like, Taysom Hill might run it, he might
Yeah.
pass it. I don't know. And like Dalton, yeah, you had an amazing throw to Olave, but on that, I don't know if you saw it, but there was like this weird double reverse play that they did. Kamara was wide open down the sideline. Like, I think the nearest defender was 11 yards away from him. That's how wide open he was. And Dalton he looked up the field instead of looking to the left, and he took a sack. So you still kind of suck, okay? But anytime you can beat the Rams, that is awesome, because
Yeah.
fuck the Rams.
Yeah.
uh,
Olave burned Jalen Ramsey, and that's when I texted you. I was like, Jalen
oh
Ramsey,
yeah.
who?
Oh yeah. And Jalen Ramsey, guess what his passer rating against was?
Perfect.
A 148.3.
Close.
So close, 10 off. But like, he allowed 2 touchdowns, 6 catches, and like 89 yards or something like that.
Yeah, it's not good.
No, not good at all. I also, this morning, I put a small $10 little wager on Olave being rookie of the year. Because out of 10 rookie wide receiver games that have surpassed 100 yards receiving, Olave has 3 of them.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. And he leads all rookie wide receivers in every category: receptions, yards, touchdowns, yards after catch, and I think like yards of separation. Like, this game, I think he was at like an average yards of separation was a 296.
Wow. Yeah, it's not bad.
So yeah, he's the real deal. Absolutely the real deal. Um we were kind of shunned out by a fun snow game.
Yeah, that sucked. That was heavy though.
Dude,
Those memes are hilarious. Those
I
memes
have to
are
say, Buffalo Bills fans might be like the coolest fans ever. Did you see like where they actually were digging out ways
oh
so the players could get to the airport?
yeah, that was awesome.
Buffalo, man, you got to be so happy for this team.
Yeah, Bills fans, it's hard to beat them.
Yeah.
Because that snow was crazy.
They said 6 feet, and 6 feet is what they fucking got.
Yeah. Those memes are so funny though, like Nick Chubb in the huddle. And it was like a snowbank and there was like a raccoon or something. Like, what are those motherfuckers doing over there? Or it
What
was
the fuck
like
they doing over there?
or it was like and it was like a mole or something underneath the snow and
Underneath the
you
snow,
saw
and it
the
was like
track.
Jim Nance like over it. It's like, oh, Nick Chubb,
Nick
he's
Chubb hits
rushing.
the hole.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that
So funny.
oh, that would have been such a like cool game. But I get it. Player safety, complete health risk playing
It would
in.
have been unsustainable to play anyway. The snow was like you'd have to every snap you would have to
You'd have to get like 8 people to just go
just
with snow shovels and just.
yeah. Yeah, as fun as it would have been it couldn't happen. You wouldn't even be able to play football
No,
on it.
not
So,
at all.
but did you see the red zone clip of Detroit Lions in the Reds like eat Detroit Lions in the red zone, but it was like in New York, and then
Oh
the
yeah, the
Bills were in the
Buffalo
red
Bills in
zone
the red
with the
zone in
Lions.
Detroit.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just like it was so weird how it was like the Lions are in the red zone, but like the
yeah, no,
Bills are
just
also it was weird, yeah.
weirdest thing to happen, but yeah, really, really funny. No, definitely. Um, and oh my god, I can't believe it's already gonna be this, but the Browns only have to play one more game until Deshaun Watson is
Uh,
unsuspended.
They're on bye week next week, right? And then
Yeah.
yeah, bye week next week and then they play Houston the week after. And
Oh wait, no, no,
then
no. They play the Buccaneers this week.
oh, my bad. I thought they
Yeah.
were on bye week on week 12.
No.
Never mind.
Anywho, oh, also one quick thing. Rams are dead.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so that could have been a fun snow game. We don't really care about that one. What a huge win for the Lions.
Massive.
After Dan Campbell gets his first road win, he walks into MetLife and gets his second against what people thought were a hot Giants team, but maybe they're just a hot pile of trash. Like,
Frauds? F words?
oh, total frauds. Like, that was terrible, man. It's the Lions.
Yeah.
The Lions. And you just come out and do that. No.
Dog shit offense, Patriots put up 29 against this team.
Yeah. Like, it was absolutely unreal that Saquon Barkley had the worst game of his season against the Lions.
Ironic.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
But awesome to just see Dan Campbell. Love
Yeah.
that guy. Um Nathaniel Hackett.
Dude, that guy's gone, man.
Somebody has to win this game.
Dude, he's so fucking bad.
He's hired so many people to do the most basic level of offensive or of head coaching. It's
Again,
like, what do you even do
same instance. If he had scored 18 points in this game, they wouldn't
at
have
the
had
end
to
of
go
the
to
fourth
overtime.
quarter? Yeah. Yeah,
And
unreal.
was that Pat Surtain who got absolutely worked by Adams?
Absolutely dusted.
Dude, that route was nasty though. I will say, like,
Absolutely nasty. I agree.
dude, Adams could have army crawled into the end zone with how open he was. It was, yeah,
No, I
Broncos.
agree.
They gotta gas him, man. It's not working.
No,
It's not working.
something's got to go, and it's not your $250 million quarterback or
Yeah.
230, whatever. Uh, Bengals, good win.
Take care of the Steelers, yeah.
Yeah, TJ Watt is literally your dad, and you beat him, so that's good. That's
Yeah.
good for you, Joe
TJ
Burrow.
Watt did have a really good interception though. That was
And I don't even think like half the receivers in the NFL would have made and survived that catch.
yeah, Hundy.
Like that was absolutely unreal. TJ Watt is so good, man.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Cowboys.
Just work the
If I
Vikings.
told you that the under had hit this game, but you would have had to take like Dallas minus 36.5. What would your like reaction be as like a somewhat of a gambler?
I would I'd bet the Vikings so hard. If 10.5 is too many points, 36.5 is way too much.
Dude, like the Cowboys. Also that fun stat. I think the Vikings are the only, or like they're the worst 8-2 team, for point differential because I think they're at -2 now.
Yeah, but like they were also plus 39 or whatever. Like they were plus they were plus what, 29 or plus 25 or something like that. Like one bad game, I think to
Yeah,
judge
but
it off that, I think is unfair. They might, with the point differential, I would, even with like the positive one, I still didn't really trust him too much because Kirk can have a really bad game anytime it's the playoffs or prime time. So I
mhm,
still wouldn't trust them. But like I'm not taking them as like, oh, they have a -2 point differential. Like it basically came from one game. And like
mhm.
you can have a bad, it's the NFL, you can have a bad game at any moment.
Literally any
So
moment.
so like yeah, 8-2, you have a negative point differential, but most of it came from one game, one bad game. And if anything, you want that to happen. It's like, okay, we can
Let's
just
get this
forget,
out of the way.
we can forget about this game. It's worse when you're in it and you lose terribly. Then it's like, oh my, like, how do we go? It's like, all right, by the third quarter, they're probably like, do you know what? We're not coming back from this. They're just outplaying us in every facet. Tony Pollard's going crazy. Let's just forget about this game, move on to next week and start prepping for next week,
Mhm.
kind of thing. So like yeah, 40-3 looks bad and the point differential looks bad for an 8-2 game, but their minds were probably out of it by halftime.
Oh, easily. Easily out
So
of it. But you know what? I still kind of have to say you got worked.
oh, they got
Like
fucking
the offensive line, I swear, Kirk Cousins snapped the ball and was immediately sacked.
yeah.
Like there was nothing. Justin Jefferson didn't have like anything. And it's just how do you beat the Bills in Buffalo on but you know what? Honestly should have realized that's such a that is such a downfall kind of spot for them. You know, beating Buffalo like that in Buffalo, I feel like every bettor and gambler should have realized this is a huge letdown game
Yeah.
just because of how meaningful last week's game was to them.
Yeah, they can't do two in a row. No shot.
No, no.
Yeah.
So good on Dallas. Yeah, Tony Pollard. Oh my fucking god, man.
Dude, I
Guys, it's so fun to watch.
yeah, I played him this week.
Oof.
Yeah. And
BTSC flashbacks right
you
there.
know, Ian, I played Ian. He had like almost 200 points and I didn't crack 100.
191, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that's
he had
bad.
he had Josh Palmer,
Oh yeah, Josh Palmer also worky too.
who we can go into next game now with KC and Chargers, but yeah, he had Josh Palmer who had
Two
like
touchdowns,
yeah, two touchdowns, like
80 yards.
yeah, he just ran it. He had Garoppolo, Pollard.
Yeah, he had the all-time team this
Yeah.
week.
And I was just like, okay.
I'll lay back and take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chiefs do it again. Another Travis Kelce walk-off touchdown, basically. I know there was time left on this one, but man, that's so depressing. The Chargers were up both times against the Chiefs and lost this year.
Like
Like
what is Herbert supposed to like? How do you not double cover Travis Kelce?
Kelsey, like who else are you covering?
You know where the ball's going.
This guy scored on you twice already.
You know where the ball's going. Why the
Oh
fuck
my
would
god.
Mahomes throw it to anyone else but Kelce in that moment?
Like
I don't care how good Derwin James is.
put another
Defensive,
guy on him.
literally,
Yeah.
like
No.
it doesn't make any sense. Why would you
As a
just want
defensive
to?
coach as well, how is your game plan as a defensive coach not surrounding who Travis Kelsey is? Like
It
you gotta
doesn't make
go
sense.
into your defensive room and you just gotta say, guys, do we know who Travis Kelsey is? Yeah? Let's just fucking make sure we hold him to a touchdown and 60 yards.
Yeah,
If we do that, we win the game. No.
but no, 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. however many receptions. And yeah, you probably got tight end one that bet because Mark Andrews unfortunately injured and just Ravens look so bad.
Even Andrews playing, I think it's hard to catch Kelsey with the
Oh,
way he's been playing.
100%. 100%. Might as well just give you your $20 now.
Yeah. So
Uh but you know what? Maybe I can substitute Andrews for George fucking Kittle because I know we were talking about it before, but huge,
yeah, he laid the hammer down
huge.
on this game.
Oh, and as I was telling Jev to everyone now, but I had a bet. I bet Kansas City to win and for the 49ers to win. Unfortunately, I misclicked and I pressed over 43 points for the Monday night game, and George Kittle saved me uh $20 and won me 36. So I retained $56 because of that absolute monstrous catch and run from George Kittle. And the Cardinals just looked like they were making business decisions trying to go after him. So,
Yeah.
Jeff, are the 49ers like the real deal?
I do think so.
That's all you need to fucking know because I don't think Seattle could make a wild card this year,
I think they will.
but they're not taking down the 49ers.
No, San Francisco looks like that offense looks like it's gelling well. McCaffrey's starting to fit in a lot more. Garoppolo's looking a lot more confident. Ayuk is just like taking over wide receiver
Oh,
one roles from Debo.
yep.
And like
But even
the
Debo had that
exactly
amazing run.
39-yard rush, which is exactly like there's so many weapons on that offense, and like Kittle looks like his old self now that he's healthy, which is so good to see. It's just like Elijah Mitchell when he's healthy on limited snap counts, he can slice you up. Christian
Mm-hmm.
McCaffrey, it's just he leads the league in scrimmage yards ever since coming into the league for a fucking reason. This guy is just unbelievably talented with the way he can catch and run. Ayuk, he was always in Debo's shadows, but now he's just catching touchdown passes out of the arse. And then now
Yep.
we all know Debo. He's labeled as a wide receiver, but he's a Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's labeled as a running back, but he can do what Debo does. Like that offense is just so scary. You don't need a Trey Lance to run for and be mobile. You just need a guy who can facilitate an offense. And Garoppolo, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, that offense is going to flourish. And the defense just has to be average for this team to be good. They put up 38 points. Like
Yes.
that's
And even against a team like Arizona, like they're not that good. Like
yeah.
I'll be the first one to say they're not the team that people were thinking like how they'd be super good. And when I said I think Seattle could overtake them, I didn't think it'd be like this. I thought it'd be like, oh, Arizona has 3 wins, Seattle has 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just proves my point. Like Arizona, not a good team. San Francisco, Super Bowl contender with Jimmy Garoppolo under center.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo runs that offense so well. I hate how people say they want
What
someone
is
else like a Trey Lance when it's like all you need is a competent quarterback. I get it. Garoppolo can fold in some big moments, but Garoppolo's gotten you to a Super Bowl. I'd say it was more or less your defense who let you down against Kansas City because look at the next year.
yeah.
Look at who absolutely destroyed Kansas City. A great defense.
Yeah.
So,
And you know what? Never mind. I forget what I was gonna say.
fair
But
enough.
like Trey Lance is the more fun and entertaining watch because
Athletic.
he's the player of the 20s now. If you're athletic, you're gonna be fun to watch. But
Yep.
Jimmy Garoppolo is just like what? Oh, this is what I was gonna say. He's like 57 and 24 or something like that as
But
a
that
49ers
isn't.
starter. Like that's really good.
Yeah.
He wins with them. So at this point, I'm back on like Garoppolo. Like, don't change what's not broken yet. See how this team
Exactly.
works into
Run
the
it into the
playoffs,
ground.
and they're starting to heat up at a good time.
Yes. But that is week 11.
All right. This episode's getting long, so I don't really have much else besides our game of the week, and it's not really much of a game. It's more so a draft. So there's no surprises here. I'm not surprising Hayden in any way because he had to prepare for this as well. And I want to do something fun, a sports moment draft. Sports moments. What are some that stick out to you? What are some of your favorite sports moments? They can be on an iconic level or a personal level. Um, it doesn't really matter. There's no really wrong answers here. Um, there might be
Except all your
some,
answers.
it'll be where it's like, oh, I'm surprised you picked that one over this one. Whatever. That might be the only surprises, but nonetheless, there's so many to choose from. So we'll go through some honorable mentions that we maybe left off, but like there is so many.
So many.
And like I have one that's probably not an iconic sports moment, but to me it's one that just sticks out to me in my head that it was one of the greatest days of my life. So, um, I don't know how you want to pick who goes first. Um,
You want to do a coin flip?
I'll do Siri. Siri, heads or tails?
Heads.
Siri, heads or tails? Fucking idiot. Siri, heads or tails?
It's heads.
Oh,
Alright.
let's go.
All right. Do you want to snake or just go back and forth? I guess two mouths just go back and forth.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
We'll
that's
just
pretty
alternate.
good.
Alternate.
Well,
And 5 picks? 5 picks each?
5? Yeah, we can do 5. 5 is good.
And then we'll go through some honorable mentions.
Sounds good. All right, let me just. My Google Docs has just crashed. I
Love
do
that.
have. I know what my like number 1 is, but I want to be prepared. That way, I don't get fucked by you. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Job trying to entertain people.
Do 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 Scooby Doo Scooby Doo.
Okay, we're back.
For you folks, that entertainment will cost $25.
Boom. Okay. The 1-1, I feel like, as both of us, has to be the golden goal.
That was my number 2.
That was your number 2.
Yeah.
Bruh, what is your number 1? Actually, I know what your number 1 is going to be. It's my number 2.
My number 1 is the Miracle on Ice.
Ah, that was actually my number 3.
1980 Olympics, a bunch of college idiots making the US Olympic team. And as a Canadian, yes, it goes against the grain of the rivalry, but
Yep.
it's one of the most iconic sports moments of all time, if not number 1. Like a bunch of college students beating the best hockey team in the world. It's in the Olympics. It's iconic, and it's my favorite movie called Miracle. Kurt Russell, starring in that is That's that was my number 1, Miracle on Ice, but the Golden Goal was my number 2. So throw it back to you.
All right. Well, with that one, since that was my number 3, I'll go with the number 2. 28-3.
Yeah. We have the same top three.
Like, not only is it the best comeback in all of football, but it is the greatest comeback. Like, the stakes to that were absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it had so many things going too, like the strip sack from Dante Hightower, the catch from Edelman, the catch from Julio Jones, the 3 touchdowns from James White.
Yep.
So many things were happening, and yeah, it was a crazy game. Tale of two emotions from me. I was heavily depressed in the first half, and the next thing you know, I'm like,
You're like the happiest fucker on earth.
Yeah, it was such a weird day for me, but it ended off on a good note. So since my top 3 are gone, I'm gonna go to more of a personal pick rather than level of how iconic it is across the sports world. And that is the Canucks slaying the Dragon. Game 7, Burrow's OT winner. It was just, Canucks have never been able to get over the hump against the fucking Chicago Blackhawks. And Chicago, defending Stanley Cup champions, absolutely worked the Canucks the year before. We've never been able to get past this team. We win the President's Trophy. We get Chicago in the first round. Everyone's like, fuck, are you kidding me? We go up 3-0 in the series. We're on cloud 9 right now. We lose 3 straight games, including a couple games giving up 6 and 7 goals against. And we're like, there is no way we are losing this game. We are winning. Chicago ties it up late. For fuck's sakes. We can't get past them. Luongo, just like the golden goal, makes a beautiful post-to-post save, saving the team. And then Alex Burrows just
electrifying.
It was one of the best days of my life. So in terms of how iconic it is across sports, probably not too high. But for me,
Vancouver sports fan,
it lives on in here forever, and it'll be one of the best days of my life. So that's my second pick, is Canucks slaying the dragon.
All right, that's a great one. Obviously, well, I'm gonna diversify it here, and not go hockey, not go football, but there was a run in Canadian sports that had never been done before. And it started off very easy, but then the second round, game 7, 90-90. Who you giving the ball to shoot your final shot as a Toronto Raptor? Give it to Kawhi. That two-pointer, watching that fall. Oh my God. Like, I feel like I cheered more watching that shot fall down than I did when, like, the Raptors won. Like, obviously going up against Golden State is like a different beast in itself, but it was Golden State without KD. You know, it wasn't like it was amazing, but that shot was just so good. Like, you could literally take a picture of any angle of that shot, and you could, like, that'd be $1 million.
Dude, it felt like it was bouncing on the rim for like 5 minutes.
Literally. And then it just fell in so gracefully.
Like a shot heard around the world, man. It was.
You get the whole by the announcer. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was. I was in Leo's watching that. It was wild.
I was in Earl's, and Earl's stopped, like, everything in Earl's stopped to watch that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, of how close it came down to it. And it's like, everyone stopped. No servers were running. No bartenders were, like, bartending. And no cooks were cooking. And nobody was eating. Everyone was watching it. It was sick.
Yeah, it was wild. My third pick, Tiger winning the 2019 Masters.
That I had that on my top 6.
That is just, when everyone counted him out, he just comes back and surges on. One of the best videos or photos, as well as the Kawhi shot, is seeing him walk up 18 and the entire fucking world behind him.
It's just watching him. Yeah.
And just when everyone counted him out, he just wins the best major in golf, the best tournament in golf. So Tiger 2019 Masters, pretty easy pick there.
All right. Well, now that it's 3-3.
3 solid picks each.
Oh,
maybe
100%.
I may have lost people with the Canucks Slay of the Dragon, but that's on a personal level. But 3 solid picks, in my opinion, for each.
I feel like I can go this one. I'm gonna have to. This is for the old heads. Paul, if you're listening, this one's for you. Give me Muhammad Ali knocking down Liston. That iconic photo of him just staring down at him. Like, you could put that up anywhere, and anyone's like, "Oh, that's Ali knocking down Liston."
Yeah,
like,
it's such a good photo. You want to talk about a photo you can auction off for $1 million? It's fucking that one.
It's that one. Yeah, no. Like, obviously, Muhammad Ali, greatest boxer of all time, no question. You know, Mike Tyson, yeah, he has his resume, but no one was ever as good. No one has ever been better. You can make a case for even Mayweather, but Ali. Whew.
Yeah, Hundy, for sure. For my pick, going over to the Diamond.
Okay, Chicago Cubs.
Chicago Cubs 2016 World Series. Hadn't won one since the Titanic fucking sank. And they got one in just great fashion. Everyone was paying attention to the storyline. It was an iconic sports moment because such a beloved team across baseball, across the world, iconic team. You have the original six in hockey, and Chicago's is just one of those teams, the Cubs. And seeing them win a World Series after that length of time between was such a cool moment to see, even for someone who hadn't gotten into baseball yet.
Mm-hmm. No, it was awesome just following that whole story
Yeah.
and that whole season. No, I agree. I saw that and I was like, yeah, that is a pretty cool sports moment, but I don't know if I could write it down for mine, like just because
That's
I'm
fair.
not I'm not that much of a baseball fan.
Yeah, Hundy.
But man, I have so many to kind of go through here.
Yeah,
I feel like are so good.
there's a ton. I have
Um,
one that stood out to me immediately, but I might be reaching with it. But go ahead.
I mean, fuck, I could say the exact same. Like the one that stands out for me. Like I'll always remember where I was watching this, and it didn't mean anything, but 2015 was an electrifying year for one man coming from Louisiana to New Jersey. Eli Manning passes it up, and the whole world watches on Sunday Night Football. Like this catch has started just everything for one-handed catches in the NFL.
Oh yeah, Odell.
Like his body contortion, his three fingers just holding the ball. Odell Beckham Jr. I remember exactly where I was. I was on my couch at home alone. My dad was out. Can't remember where my dad was, but I was watching that game alone. And when I saw that, I jumped out of my seat. I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
Like I had never seen anything like that before. I'd never yeah, no, that started the whole fad for me trying to do any one-hand catches ever. And it's all thanks to Odell.
Yeah, that catch I still think is one of the greatest catches I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
It cemented itself as just so iconic. My last pick for honorable mentions. The team that was almost relegated. Yes, I'm going to the pitch. Leicester City winning the EPL after being almost relegated out of the EPL the year prior. They changed betting forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were like 5,000 to 1 or like something like that to win the EPL. Someone threw like $100 on it and just he's living now. He's swimming in cash after that win. It was a storyline because football, soccer, however you want to call it, their seasons go on for what it feels like 2 years in
Ever.
one. It feels like it goes on. So that storyline following it was just so memorable to watch, and it was crazy. And seeing them win the EPL amongst the best was really cool. So, and it was a pretty iconic sports moment, sports memory. So I got Leicester winning the EPL.
No, that's good. These
What
are
do you got?
all these are all fucking good moments, man.
Yeah, those are sports are awesome, man.
They are.
What do you got as some honorable mentions?
My top honorable mention. I had it in my top five, but just the way the vibe was going. Uh, Tennessee versus USC Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
Uh, that was like college football has never been the same. I feel like since that Reggie Bush, like amazing. Another one was this one was a personal one, but I knew you were never gonna pick it. Ambush, New Orleans versus Indianapolis in the Super Bowl. This would maybe mean more to me if I was really a fan of football back then. But in 2009, I wasn't worrying about anything like that. And then Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. No one will ever beat that record.
I have one that I just thought about that I probably should have impacted.
What?
Malice at the Palace.
Malice at the Palace?
Oh, you haven't heard about that? It was
No.
basically Ron Artest, Meta World Peace. Fought fans, and it was search up Malice at the Palace. There's a documentary on it. It's one of the craziest moments to ever happen in sports. I have Kobe's last game dropping a 60 piece at Staples Center. Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. That was a big one around the world. Malcolm Butler interception on the goal line. And then little sneaky UFC one, McGregor holding 2 belts at once. That was big. So thought that was a cool little draft to do. Maybe post a graphic about it this week. But Hayden, we've been going long enough. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Hayden_Barton and TikTok at HBart13.
You can follow me on Instagram at Jevon.Lefave, on Twitter at JevonLefave. Find anything for the show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LeftSideHeavy_, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube Left Side Heavy and rate us everywhere you get your podcast. It really helps grow the show. We will see you next week with a regular episode and a KB&R that we don't know what we're doing for it yet. But yeah, we will see you next week. Enjoy the episode. Peace.